welcome back to Watch the Time. So today I'm going to be looking at my first Hanowa watch. So I'm wearing it now. I bought it on GB Watch Shop. They've got quite a few different brands of watches. They've got from Invicta, Accurist, Seiko, Rotary, and I was looking at this one, Swiss military watch. The prices are so reasonable on there that I was looking for a while what I wanted to get in, and I picked this up. I went for it really because it was a GMT watch. I've not really had many GMTs. I had the Rotary in, and I had a Pagani design, but I wanted to try and get one in that I was potentially going to keep. I'm not sure if I will. I'm not sure. You know what it's like when you've got a watch channel and you look at so many watches with all good intentions. You feel like you're going to have or keep a watch, and then before you know it, you flipped it and you bought something else. Predominantly because you want to have more content and stuff, but I digress. Yeah, pretty cool. I'll leave the model number in front of me because it's even longer than normal. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like the fact that obviously it's a GMT. It's got a Swiss movement inside of Ronda, Sapphire crystal. Just a couple drawbacks, but I don't want to give too much away too soon because I do want you to watch the video. But yeah, like I said, I bought this for £98 roughly. So for the price, Sapphire crystal Swiss watch. On the face of it, I think it's a very, very good buy, to be honest. I think you're going to be hard pushed. And if you're in the UK, I'm not sure if rest of Europe or whatever, but I know in the UK they offer free shipping as well. So £98 to your door within a couple of days, which is how long it took mine to arrive. I don't think you could really grumble. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll see if I keep mine or not. If I do, I'll do a long-term review. But for the time being, this is going to be an unboxing and review that my sort of first impressions, but I've had a bit of time with it now, so I can tell you what I think. But I hope you're all doing well and starting to look forward to summer and hopefully a bit more normality. And yeah, thank you for tuning back in. But without further ado, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. As I said before, it's a Swiss military Hanowa watch. I bought this on GB Watch Shop. I've been looking at a few watches on there for a while, and to be honest, the prices are extremely competitive. So I'll leave a link in the description taking you to this watch. But yeah, go for a few bits they've got. They are really, really well priced in terms of what they offer. Quite a range of watches also. So this is a Swiss military watch, obviously as it says. So this is a GMT watch. The model number, it's a bit of a mouthful, is 06-429 3 full stop 04 full stop 003. I will leave it in text writing just below the watch as we speak right now, just so you can have a look. It is a bit of a mouthful, hence why I didn't say it in the intro. But this is the packaging it comes in. It just comes with a pretty normal pillow. It comes with a tag, warranty card, instruction manual, all that good stuff inside. And the box itself is actually pretty cool, pretty substantial. I would suggest you could also use it as a travel case if the mood suited. But yeah, let's get all that put to the side for now. So as I say, this is the watch. It's a GMT watch, and that's why I picked it up. I bought this off GB Watch Shop for must be about £98 I paid. The recommended retail price is £300. They have it on sale, plus you can use a coupon they normally have for 10%, so I've got it down to sort of £98. But let me run through the specs. So the movement inside is a Ronda Quartz movement. It's a 515.24H movement. It's one of their variants. There's a GMT, obviously because it's a GMT watch. The case material, bezel, fixed bezel, it's got a rotating bezel inside, but the fixed outer part of the bezel. The crowns, case back, and pin buckle clasp are all 316L stainless steel. The case thickness from top to bottom is 11 millimeters. The case diameter, excluding the crowns, is 44.5 millimeters, and including the crowns is 47.5 millimeters. The lug width, rather unsurprisingly given the size, is 22 millimeters, and the lug to lug, tip to tip, is 51 millimeters. The case back style is screwed down. I've still left the sticker on there, I do apologise guys, and it's just got a bit of writing saying Hanowa, Swiss Moot and everything else. And it is screwed down, as I say, so it's quite easy to unscrew and change the battery. As I said, the bezel type is fixed, but there is an inner rotating bezel that you can move there. I will come to that in a bit more detail once we look at the dial. And the crown types, they're both push-pull. The one at the top rotates the inner rotating bezel. The one at the bottom functions, obviously the time, the date, and the GMT. But I'll run through that as I say. The strap it comes on is a leather strap, and it's got embossment on it. It says Swiss Military Hanover on the pin buckle side and genuine leather on the other side. As I say, the clasp on it is a pin buckle clasp, and it's signed. It's quite nicely brushed, and it's got the sign for Hanover, the Swiss sign. And excuse me, sorry, I get distracted. The crystal covering that dial is a sapphire crystal. It's a flat bit of sapphire crystal, which obviously I like a bit of sapphire crystal. The water resistance for this watch is 50 meters. So 5 atmospheres. So yeah, I wouldn't go swimming with it, but it's sort of day to day, you'll be fine using it. And the weight will appear in the top right hand corner. It's in and around 74 grams, give or take. But yeah, let's have a look at the dial, as I say. So what you have is in the rehaut, you have various countries from around the world in terms of, so for the world time. As I say, if you turn the crown up at the 2 o'clock position, you could turn it to wherever you want it in terms of the time and stuff. Inside that, you've got a 24-hour minute track inside where the nations are on the rehaut. And inside that as well, you've got a 12-hour denominations signifying the time, obviously. You've got Swiss Military Hanover at the 12 with the Swiss flag, and Sapphire down at the 6. And just where the 6 o'clock is, it says Swiss made also. You've got the date window just below where the 4 o'clock position is, give or take, so it doesn't really affect the aesthetic or the symmetry of the watch. And the dial itself is a blue sunburst dial, and because of the red, obviously you've got red going from the 4 o'clock to the 10, and then obviously you've got blue on the other part. Plus you've got a red second hand, and you've got a GMT tip and the red for the Swiss flag. I think they've tied in the colours really nicely in terms of the blues, the whites, and the reds they've used. And the applied indices are good. They look good. They offer a bit of sunburst also, which also is in keeping with the dial. And given the fact that it's a quartz piece, it's got a hacking hand wind, and you take it out to the second position, you'll be able to change the time. And if you put it into the first position, you'll be able to change the GMT and the date if you just keep scrolling through. I'll put it back to 9 because that's where I was at, and put it back in. The time obviously wrong now, but I'll do that later. But that's the dial. That's what it looks like. But yeah, I think it looks very pretty. I do like the colours and stuff. But let me just pop it on the wrist. As I've said before, my wrist is just above a 7.25-inch wrist, and that's what it looks like on me. Probably at the limit, really, of what I would wear in terms of sizing. But yeah, I think the reason it doesn't look so big, to be honest, is the fact that the rehaut and there's so much going on, so it doesn't feel like a large. If it was a dress watch at this size, it probably would look enormous. But because of all the stuff going on, it doesn't seem quite so big as the specs would suggest. But that would take me on to what I think is pants and pukka. So what I'm going to go with, I'll start with pants as always. With the pants, what I would say is the second-hand alignment. It's one of the worst alignments I've had on a watch, to be honest. It's really, really bad. I'm not sure if you can make it out, but the second-hand alignment is terrible. And for a Swiss watch, I was hoping that the least I want, the minimum I want for my quartz pieces is for them to hit the markings, to be honest. So yeah, the second-hand alignment's not very good. The rehaut is very jerky. I don't know if you can make it out. When you go backwards and forwards, it's jumping all over the place. If you just continue to go in one way, it's fine. But if you need to go back and forward, it's quite jerky. So that's not very good. And also the leather strap. Yeah, I wouldn't be keeping it on this strap. It's very, very tough. And yeah, it's just not very nice. And given the fact that this is supposed to be a £300 watch, it's very, very disappointing that it would come on a strap of this sort of quality. Again, when you receive straps like this, I've said it in the past, I would rather the watch arrive with no strap, and you know that, and you can source a strap before it comes, rather than get these abysmal straps. So yeah, I'd go with the second-hand alignment, the rehaut being very jerky, and the leather strap. In terms of what I think is pukka, the sapphire crystal, I do like sapphire crystal on my watches. The dial, as I've said before, in terms of the sunburst dial and how everything fits together, there's a lot going on, but it doesn't look too cluttered, to be honest. I could actually work with this, if I'm honest. I do like the GMT functionality and everything else. General finishing, in terms of the brushing on the top, transition to polishing, back to brushed on the back of the case. Yeah, everything's done really nicely, and then finally the signed elements, in terms of the fact they've signed both crowns with the Swiss flag, the pin buckle signed, the case back signed. They signed every element of on the watch, which is something, as you know from watching my videos, I approve of. I do appreciate people signing, not going as far as signing the side of the case and stuff, but signing the elements in terms of the elements you see, like the crown, clasp, and so on. I think they're very important to be signed. So yeah, to surmise, what I would say is the sapphire crystal, the dial, the GMT functionality, the general finish, and the signed elements is what I think is pukka. And that would obviously take me on to whether I'd recommend this watch. And to be honest, for the price I paid, although I would be changing the strap, I would recommend this watch. A GMT watch, sapphire crystal, Swiss watch, well made, for less than £100, I think is a really good price. I wouldn't go into the realms of paying £300 for it, because then I would say it's a terrible buy. But all things are relative, and all things are. I do think price plays a big part in whether you're getting value for money, obviously. So if you're getting this watch, what I paid for it, more power to you, and you'll have a great watch for the price. And obviously, some people won't even be too bothered about the second hand. But obviously, that's a big bugbear of mine. But generally, I would recommend this for the price. But don't be paying £300 for this watch. There's definitely better alternatives for that price. But guys, as I always say, please let me know what you think of this watch. Maybe any other watches you might want to see on the channel, or any questions you may have. And as I always say, thanks for tuning back in. And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the best.